Turn off the lights. Not for the atmosphere, but because tonight we are going to discuss what you see when the light is too dim to distinguish details, but just enough to let your imagination run wild. Have you ever looked at an old photo of yourself and for a split second failed to recognize the person staring back? Or perhaps you've looked into the eyes of your father or mother and seen for the blink of an eye the features of someone who shouldn't be there, someone who doesn't belong to your lineage. Tonight, we explore the theory of invasive somatic memory, known in the darkest corners of the web as the third parent effect. Be warned, after this video, every time you lock eyes with a stranger on the street, you will wonder if what you are seeing is a passerby or a reminder. We all know how basic genetics works. Half of your genes from one parent, half from the other. It is a perfect mathematical dance of chromosomes that shapes your nose, the color of your eyes, the span of your hands. But in 2014, an independent researcher named Elias Thorne published a disturbing paper before vanishing completely. Thorne claimed that within our DNA exists a waste quota, a sequence of data that does not belong to our biological ancestors. He called it the observer's imprint. According to Thorne, DNA is not just a biological blueprint, it is a magnetic archive. And like any archive, it can be contaminated by the external world. Thorne's theory suggests that the DNA of a living being acts like a high-sensitivity sensor. When a human being experiences a moment of extreme emotional intensity, terror, obsessive love, or a dying gaze, the frequency of that emotion can burn the image of the observer into the genetic code of the observed. Have you ever felt a déjà vu when looking at a face you've never seen before? Thorne explained that this isn't a brain glitch, it's cellular recognition. The faces of the people who watched our ancestors with intensity, the enemies who cornered them, the secret lovers they never spoke of, left an echo in the code. These foreign faces nestle in the folds of your double helix, and sometimes they decide to manifest. This is why doppelgangers exist. It isn't a statistical coincidence. It's the same imprint surfacing in two different people, thousands of miles apart. The universe is recycling data because it has run out of memory to create new souls. As we go deeper, we encounter empty face syndrome. Think about a loved one who passed away years ago. When you try to recall their face, does it ever feel like the features are slipping away? No matter how hard you focus, their nose, the curve of their chin, the specific shade of their eyes, it all becomes a blurred smudge. Science calls this forgetting. Thorne called it reassignment. When a face vanishes from collective memory, it means the file has been reassigned. Somewhere in the world, a child has just been born with those exact eyes, that specific smile, that identical scar. We are living in a world of second-hand masks. Every face you see today is a piece of someone else who had to be deleted to make room for you. This is why some people feel an inexplicable hatred for a stranger on a bus. Your DNA recognizes the mask they are wearing, and it remembers what that mask did to you 3 centuries ago. But let us consider the implications of a saturated archive. If the universe is recycling these masks, it means the population of unique souls is far smaller than we are led to believe. Imagine a crowded city street where out of 10,000 people, only a handful possess an original genetic blueprint. The rest are echoes, shadows of ancestors and strangers, whose images were burned into the marrow of their progenitors during moments of unspeakable trauma or forbidden passion. Have you ever felt a sudden chill while walking into a dark room, convinced someone was standing there, only to turn on the light and find yourself alone? This is ancestral retinal persistence. Our DNA remembers the faces of predator and prey. At night, when the light is low, your eyes don't just see what is in the room, they project what is in your code. That shadow you thought you saw in the corner of your eye, it's not a ghost. It's the face of someone who hunted your ancestors 10,000 years ago. And your cells remember the threat so vividly that they recreate it from nothing. It is a genetic alarm bell that has never stopped ringing. It is the reason we fear the dark, not because it is empty, but because our blood remembers exactly what was hiding in it before the dawn of civilization. If you are brave enough, there is an experiment you can perform tonight. It is called the Mirror of Venus. Sit in front of a mirror in a nearly dark room with a single candle placed behind you, so your face is barely illuminated. Stare intensely into your own pupils for 20 minutes without looking away. After a few minutes, your face will begin to warp. Your jaw might grow wider, your forehead might recede, and your skin might seem to gray. Psychology calls this the Troxler effect, an optical illusion, but those who have pushed past the 30-minute mark report something far more sinister. The face in the mirror stops being yours entirely. It becomes a stranger, a person with different features, perhaps from a different era. This stranger looks at you with profound hatred or an infinite soul-crushing sadness. This is the third parent. This is the guest living in your DNA, the person whose body you are currently occupying. The reason you feel uncomfortable staring at yourself for too long is that you are subconsciously waiting for the stranger to blink when you don't. You are witnessing the emergence of a dormant persona, a consciousness that was recorded into your genetic sequence long before your parents ever met. Finally, we must discuss the glitch faces in the crowd. Have you ever seen someone who looked exactly like an old friend, but as you got closer, their features shifted, becoming bland, anonymous, and forgettable? Run. These people are the erasers. They are zones of genetic vacuum that the system fills with your own memories to prevent you from realizing there is a hole in reality. They are there to monitor the depth of your memory. If you stare at them too long, they might decide that your face is more useful than theirs. They are the collectors of the recycled masks. They walk among us like maintenance workers in a vast, decaying simulation, ensuring that the observer's imprint remains unchallenged. Look around you now. Your room is quiet, but your body is screaming with information. Every cell of your being carries the weight of thousands of lives you never lived. Your nose belonged to a knight who bled out in a forgotten war. Your eyes belonged to a woman who drowned in a storm. Your hands belonged to someone who committed a crime so hideous it was scrubbed from history. You are not an individual. You are a collage of survivors and victims, a patchwork quilt of genetic ghosts fighting for the surface. Your personality is merely the current captain of a ship crewed by 1,000 dead men, all of whom are vying for the wheel. Tonight, as you try to fall asleep, ask yourself, who is really dreaming? Is it you, or is it the person dwelling in your DNA, waiting for their turn to take the mask back? Does the ghost of a Victorian murderer dream through your eyes while you rest? Does the fear you feel in the middle of the night belong to you, or to a caveman who died in the jaws of a beast whose name has been forgotten for eons? Before the video ends, I have one final test for you. Go to a mirror, look at yourself, and ask aloud, whose face is this? If you feel a tingling at the base of your neck, or if for a fraction of a second your reflection smiles while you remain expressionless, then you know, the reassignment has begun. The foreign code is overwriting your present self. You are being archived. If this descent into the secrets of the flesh has made you doubt your own identity, like this video and subscribe. It is the only way to stay anchored to this version of yourself, to provide a digital timestamp that proves you existed before the third parent took control. Tell us in the comments if you've ever seen a face that shouldn't exist, or if you've ever felt your own limbs move with a grace or a violence that wasn't your own. Stay awake, stay yourself, as long as your DNA allows it. The sun will rise soon, but the archive never sleeps.